Hey everybody, sorry I've been away. For all 4 of you that have watched my previous videos, I've basically been a bit busy since my last video. So my last video, I went through a song. It was my 5th video. This one's my 6th, and I've had a lot of changes since then. Not necessarily in the room that I'm in, but certainly with the equipment that I'm using and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, reason I'm missing, or went missing, I had to go back home for a bit, so that took 3 weeks. This was back in November. After November, I got back, I went straight into gigs. I had 4 gigs in a row, around getting back, doing like regular work. Then it just started getting busy, more gigs, more work, got into Christmas, got sick, ruined Christmas again. 2nd year in a row, ruined New Year's, same thing, gigs again. Now we're in the middle of January, close to the end of January, lots of change, and I'm excited to kind of explain what's changed. So still got the same guitars, but in now rather than using pedals and that kind of stuff, I'm playing into GarageBand and that, which I still am doing actually. Recording this and got sounds from my new equipment going into GarageBand. But what I have now is a Quad Cortex, and I've just been playing around with it, and it's a great piece of equipment. I've used it at 5 gigs at the moment, and it's been awesome. Just had it on the floor, nothing else. I have plugged into the power amp into my cab and played that way. I've plugged into front of house, played that way. I use in-ear monitors. I've used that, and every single part of it sounds great. I've created just a setup for my band and been using it like that. But I've also gone through some of the presets, taken a couple of the presets and gone through it. But one of the things that I definitely keep seeing is people sort of going, "Oh, it's too slow between presets and all this kind of stuff." And actually, I feel like it's not that slow. It's not slow. It's just the way that you're using it is making it slow. So we're here to talk about scene mode. At the moment, I'm running the Core 1.4, and I know Core 2.0 is coming out very soon. So I'm sure it's going to change. But for the time being, those of you that are using Core 1.4 and using scene mode, or not too sure how to use scene mode, this video is for you. So with that, at the moment, I just set up a bit of a Metallica kind of sounding setup. And not that my band actually plays Metallica, not that we play in that sort of style, and not that I am James or Kirk or play anywhere to their level. I just thought I've been messing around with it and playing along with it at home, so it's kind of like a Master of Puppets sound that I'm going for with this setup. It's not perfect. I was just trying to get it together for this video, using a couple of different captures and that kind of stuff. I do have another camera set up over the Quad Cortex as well to sort of show you, and if people are interested, I can certainly make this one available. So I have a sort of heavier one set up. And then I also have this scene set up for more clean, which is something that they have. And use in the Master, or on the Master of Puppets album, especially in like Welcome Home. And with it set up at the moment, you can tell that, like, yeah, this one's got like that chorusy clean compared to this. And so a very quick change. I'm using my hand, so it's going to have that delay because it's right here on my desk. But yeah, between like foot stomping, you won't notice any sort of change, similar to switching on and off a pedal. And so I thought I'll explain what all of these things mean and how you can get that quick changeover and not using presets and not using stomp mode, but actually using scene mode. So guys, what we have here is my setup. I've just called it Metallica 1, and at the moment we're on scene A as seen by the lights. If you're wondering what these are those more like mushroom heads that sit on the top of the knobs here. It just protects them, especially when I'm using my feet at a gig. But yeah, what we have here is my setup. And so at the moment, like this one here, I have two inputs coming in from input 1, which is where my guitar coming in. I just have this output here, which is going to some speakers, which are currently off. And then I have my USB going to my laptop, and then I have the power in. That is everything. I don't need anything else. Everything else is on here. There's a tuner, tap tempo just down here in the corner. And then these are my different scenes. So at the moment, it doesn't look like these are off. There isn't too much difference between the scenes which and the captures which are on compared to which are off. But if I press this one, you can see how it changes. So scene B switches on a bunch of stuff. Scene A switches off the bunch of stuff on scene B and puts on a bunch more. So how it all works and how I've got it all set up. So first of all, you have to get into scene, and then like this button here, I'm just going to tap on the screen, and this is my utility gate. It just cuts out some of the noise that my pickups and that kind of stuff are picking up. But I only want it to happen and only want it to switch on when I'm on scene B and not on all the time. So at the moment, I've just come into the settings, and what I can do is just press and hold this button here. Which is the power button, and like obviously that switches it off if you just tap it. But if I press and hold it, what it does is it brings up 4 little squares, and that's setting it up for scene mode. So at the moment, in scene mode, if I press my scene B, which is my sort of clean chorusy setting, this is on all the time. But if I switch it like this and then tick the button, you can see that this is now off when it was on previously. If I switch it over to scene B, it's now on. Scene A, it's now off. I can play my guitar, and you'll be able to hear the difference. Here is scene A, scene B. And you can do that with all of these little settings. So if I wanted to, example, take off this, I've already got it set up. It's the tremolo. If I wanted to switch it off for B, I can just switch it off. And now the tremolo is off. If I move over to scene C, you can see that everything is kind of on. And what I can do is just tap on this, switch it off, 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 tap on this, switch it off. And if I want the tremolo just to come back on, which is basically what I'm doing here, tremolo to come back on, you'll see now that the difference between B, no tremolo, and C, tremolo. So tremolo, no tremolo, and tremolo. Now you can do that with a bunch of different settings in here. So even if my output right now is on my USB 3, if I tap that, if I press and hold it, I can change the volume on C as well. So it's already set up for different volumes on the outputs. And what I can do is I can switch it down. Let's make it quieter on this one. So let's go even quieter. There you go. Tick the button. So we got this kind of noise. On B, it's now louder. C, tremolo and quieter. So great for solo boosts and that kind of stuff too. So it's not just the settings like the volume, you can change the settings in here as well. So if I want let's think of something here. If I wanted the mix for the room reverb to change, I can change it just by pressing and holding the mix setting. So if I do that, the mix comes up, it changes color, and then I can change it. So let's make the mix, let's make it awful, make it 100%. And now in C, compared to B, where the mix is at 35%, on scene C, it's now at 100%. So you can do that with a bunch of settings. You can have different ones in between, make everything different. You can have a bunch of stuff change at the same time. Like I turn the tremolo, we can change the rate of the tremolo. So if I just press and hold it again, comes up, it's now in scene mode, and I can change that setting, and we can make that sounds a bit weird, whatever. But if I go to B, and I can also switch it back on if I wanted to. It would change the scene if I do it. But yeah, you can change it on that. And so you can do the same thing on scene A, which is my heavier setting. And I can do the same thing, so I can change it. If I tap this, I can change the overdrive and the tone for the scene. And then if I hit save, it'll all save. And that would be my setup A, B, and C. Now you can also, if you flick the screen up, what you do is you get scene A, B, and C, and you can change that. So if I go heavy, I can't spell, H-E-A-V-Y, save, that's now scene A. If I want to change scene B, clean, save, it's now clean. Change that just by hitting the top corner and go clean plus trim, save. And now that's my setting. So I can change it like this. This is called gig view, I believe. And basically move from heavy, clean, and that is how to best use scene mode. Like I said, scene A, you've got this row here and this row on scene B. Bottom row and top row are off, and it's just all the stuff that's in the middle that's on. I hope that's helpful. So thanks for watching. I hope that's helpful for some people that are using the Quad Cortex and having some struggles switching between presets or what they think is presets rather than using scene mode. And like I said, scene mode is very easy to set up. One of the real cool things about the Quad Cortex, especially I noticed when I got it, is that there's a bunch of sort of preset amps and all that kind of stuff already set up. And within each of those setups, there's also scenes already set up. So you can pick some of the sort of songs on or sounds that are on there. So one of my favorites is like the Appetite one. Sounds like a sort of Guns N' Roses kind of style. But within that setting, there's scenes for the intro to Welcome to the Jungle, and then you can press a different scene, and now it's the intro to Paradise City. You set another scene, and you're on the sort of lead part for Sweet Child of Mine. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do, and with all these tweaks and that kind of stuff that you can make to the amp sounds, the amp captures, the pedals, the modulation effects, the delay effects, the reverb effects within the Quad Cortex to make your scene and to make your sound. And rather than using the presets, which, yeah, admittedly do take a bit longer to come through. In my band, I have a sort of regular kind of Marshall setup with a little bit of gain, but using the different scenes, I make it slightly cleaner for some songs. I have an envelope filter on for another song. I have just a solo boost where I put a gain setting after everything, just to move everything up by like 2 decibels to cut through for a solo. I have a phaser effect, and basically depending on which button I push, all those different effects can come into the mix, which is different to stomp mode. So stomp mode, what you have is it's set up as though each button is just the switch on for the pedal, or for the sort of thing that you're using. The cool thing about stomp mode though is if you wanted to use thumb mode, you could have multiple things come on and off with one push of the button. Anyway, I hope the explanation for the scene mode is helpful for those of you who are questioning how to work scene mode and how to use scene mode. If you do have any questions, feel free to pop them down in the comments section. What I am going to do from now on is use my Quad Cortex. It's going to help me learn it a little bit more because I feel like I've only just scratched the surface of its capabilities to show you the songs and song playthroughs, as well as a couple other things that they've got coming up in the pipeline too. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, like I said, put them down in the comment section. And if you want to see more Quad Cortex walkthroughs, explanations and that kind of stuff, just like and subscribe to this channel because there's going to be a bunch more coming, and I will obviously put in some stuff without the Quad Cortex too if you guys are asking for it. Thanks, I'll see you around.